If you are willing and obey, you shall eat the good things of the Lord. The Lord had quite a bit to say today in both scriptures readings, including, you shall eat the good things of the Lord. Initially, I tried to figure out, well, I'm sure it's not food that he's talking about. I think it has to do more with like hope, happiness, joy, peace, the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things that I can. Asks us to be willing and to have ears to hear. Well, to be willing will challenge us because it asks us to rely more on God's ways than our ways. And to obey means really having ears to hear. That's the derivation of the word obedience. The prophet Isaiah asks us today, listen to instructions from God. And listening, one of those instructions has to do with make justice your aim. To make what is wrong right, to hear the orphan's plea, to defend the widow. Concretely, how are we to do these things? Some among us feel hopeless and do not know how to respond, but this at least reveals an awareness of the need to do something, and for many, it may well be all we can do for now. But fortunately, there are others who are gone beyond. But it's so fundamental, justice in God's teaching. Another way that God asks us if we are willing and have ears to hear involves our prayer. And it said in the readings that prayer glorifies him more than sacrifices. So this past Sunday, we had a lesson in what prayer is and does. Jesus took Peter, James, and John up a mountain, and Luke stressed to pray. And while they were praying, Jesus changed in appearance. It was overwhelming. It was an overwhelming experience for Peter, James, and John. They really didn't know what to say. Their response, well, Jesus, maybe we'll make 3 tents, and one for you, one for Elijah, and you can stay here. They were so overwhelmed. But they knew that that was not the end, so they had to go back into the world to exercise justice. But as Jesus was praying, no words were spoken, no psalms were said. Jesus looked upon God the Father looked upon Jesus. There was a communion that manifested itself outwardly through a light that was overwhelming and words that declared Jesus to be the Son of God. It was one moment, and that moment can be ours in prayer as well. When we enter into an experience of prayer, no psalms, no words, look upon the heart of Jesus and allow him to penetrate our hearts. We will know this happens when we experience that inner glow. The scriptures today say that God is drawing up these thoughts before our eyes. He's pointing out the right way for us to follow, the way that will lead to our salvation. All he's saying is, let him who has ears to hear, hear, and eyes to see, see.